inside Assembly Hall here on the campus of the University of Illinois for the 2002 Big Ten Conference Wrestling Championships. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Johnson, along with my broadcasting partner, former Big Ten coach, and one of wrestling's great ambassadors, Ken Kraft.
Thank you.
Well, Ken, we have a championship that's already been crowned. Minnesota, for the second year in a row, are the Big Ten champions. But it certainly isn't a done deal for second place. Second, third, and fourth. Look at that close race.
You betcha. Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State. And that one's not over. We're going to find that out as we get through these 10 championship matches. Who really is the true second place team?
Well, you see Minnesota right there at the top.
Yes.
And Minnesota, Jay Robinson, the head coach, has orchestrated a great program there. 3 out of the last 4 championships now. Jay Robinson.
Jay Robinson comes from a long line of historical wrestling programs. Oklahoma State as an undergrad. Wrestled in the Olympics in Munich. A lot of people don't know that, in the Greco-Roman team. And then to Iowa for his learning period. And then on, of course, to Minnesota, where he's built a great program.
Well, you mentioned Iowa, and look at that dominance from 1974 to 1998, and then once again in 2000. Iowa, Minnesota, great rivalry, isn't it?
It truly is, and that great dual meet they had was terrific in Minneapolis this past February. But right now, Minnesota is in the lead, but they're not quite dominant yet.
Well, let's talk about some great matches tonight. We've got 10 great championship matches, but we have 2 classics. Number 1 versus number 2 in the country. That's at 149 and heavyweight. 149 pounds. We've got number 1 ranked Mike Zadick from Iowa going against Jared Lawrence, the number 2 ranked wrestler in the nation from Minnesota.
At this point, Zadick is absolutely going to be the favorite. He's beaten Lawrence twice this year, the finals of the Midlands, as well as a dual meet, so it could be a great one.
Well, at heavyweight, we've got the freshman of the year in the Big Ten, true freshman Steve Mocco, going number 1 ranked in the nation, going against Tommy Rowlands from Ohio State, a redshirt sophomore.
These are the kids. Mocco is the freshman of the year all over the country as far as I'm concerned, but who knows? Rowlands is as good as Mocco, so we'll see what happens.
Well, that'll be worth waiting for there, coming down to the heavyweight match for that classic matchup. And we'll be right back for a great tournament at 125 pounds.
There are 2 teams going out on the field today, and only one will come back a winner. We're at the 17th hole. Here's the putt. Go out there and do your best. Yes! And it's a Cinderella story.
Sports can teach her how to dream.
I love you guys.
You can help her dream big.
Oh, yeah! They're killing me.
Train basically has 2 sides. The right side, which is the pizza side, or the left side, which is the sandwich side. Thanks to the revolutionary new Pizzone from Pizza Hut, the conflict between the 2 sides is over. Finito. No mas. Because the Pizzone is the pizza you eat like a sandwich. It's mozzarella cheese and tantalizing toppings. Sandwich calzone style. 51 cubic inches of perfection. So big, we dare you to eat it alone. $5.99 or have a Pizzone party. 2 for $10.99. The Pizzone revolution, only at Pizza Hut. Join us.
We're back at Assembly Hall, the University of Illinois campus here in Champaign, Illinois for the Big Ten Wrestling Championships, and we're getting ready to go at 125 pounds between sophomore Luke Eustice for the Iowa Hawkeyes and senior Leroy Vega from the Minnesota Gophers. Look at the records there. Eustice 18-8 and Vega 28-2. Vega has been 2nd in the nation and 3rd in the nation.
Yes, he hasn't. Well, he's a 3-time All-American.
There you're looking at Leroy Vega, a veteran going against a newcomer in the lineup for Iowa this year. This is his first year in the lineup for the Hawkeyes, Eustice. There you're looking at Luke Eustice.
And of course, Luke Eustice is a Minnesota native.
That's right.
Wrestled for his dad up there in high school.
Jack Eustice was also an All-American at Mankato State. And now here we go, first period. Of course, we have 3-minute first period and then 2 periods of 2 minutes each. There's Vega in on the single.
Nice quick move. First consolidation and finish. You got him up. It should be 2.
Now that's the first time, Ken. That's 2 points mistaken, it's the first time in 4 matches that Leroy Vega has had the first takedown.
That's right. That's right. In fact, he had a start in the first match of this tournament. It looked pretty rough for him, but he came back to win it, of course.
So you're looking right now at a quick start by Leroy Vega from Minnesota, the top-ranked 125-pounder, and he has not done that earlier in the tournament. He in fact won 10-9 in that preliminary, which was quite a surprise against a Wisconsin athlete.
And an unseeded wrestler. Although this weight class during the year in the Big Ten had as many as 8 or 9 people ranked nationally during the year at some parts of the year. So it's a very solid weight class in the Big Ten.
Well, we'll be talking about the Big Ten's dominance in this sport of wrestling nationwide. It's the best conference in the nation. And, Ken, you've been in the conference a long time. This is the Big Ten's best sport, wrestling.
Well, the Big Ten dominates the sport of wrestling like no other sport that we compete in.
4 of the top 4 ranked teams in the nation are Big Ten teams, and they're the 4 that are on top for the conference championship.
That's right.
Minnesota, of course, we've said, has won the conference championship. They have 7 wrestlers you will see today. Vega and Eustice has wrestled twice this year. Vega won both very close. Eustice looked pretty good this year, and also this weekend.
Yeah, I feel that Eustice apparently was what was his seed again? I think he was seeded 6th.
Eustice was the number 7 seed, in fact, coming all the way through. And he won the first round against the number 2 seed, Flieger from Purdue, who's a real fine wrestler.
Absolutely.
And then he goes ahead and beats the number 3 seed to get into the finals. So he has beaten number 2, number 3, and you're looking at Mark Schwab there, one of the assistant coaches for Minnesota, who is probably Leroy Vega's personal coach, same weight class.
Well, Eustice, as we were saying, Eustice had a great tournament thus far, and he's going to try and put it together and see if he can get after Vega. But Vega's looked awfully good right now.
Eustice out for that point. It's 2-1 now. Vega's lead, and Vega has built up a little riding time, 1 minute and 25 riding time, and if you end up the match with a minute or more a riding advantage, you get an extra point. So right now, Vega with a 2-1 lead and advantage riding time.
Of course, when your opponent is on top of you, that riding time thing will obviously go down.
You know, I knew this was going to be a close match. We said Eustice and Vega have wrestled twice. They've been close matches. Eustice wrestling very well, but Vega, the veteran, he has had a good career up there at Minnesota.
Yeah, he's an experienced guy. He knows where things are and what he can do and what he has to do in order to score those points and keep the other. Now, a little quick shot in there, but ended up just both got underhooks.
Now, one thing that Vega has not done is a nice takedown there.
Beautiful.
Another 2 points for Leroy Vega, makes the score 4-1 in favor of the Gopher. What I was just getting ready to say is what he's headed towards, Ken.
Yeah.
That he's never won a Big Ten title.
That's right.
And here's the replay right here.
Look how he took him down to the hips. He's going to take him down and now leads him and puts him right on his hip and over in the back. I mean, if he could have had back points.
So here's from the other side,
here
a second
it is.
look.
Takes him on the hip, across, and Eustice was lucky to be near the edge.
Anytime you can control the hips, you control the wrestler. And so Leroy Vega out to a fast start. We're still in the first period, 10 seconds left. If he wants to ride him out here, then it makes it a true 2-point takedown.
That's right, exactly.
And he is
got
successful. That's 4-1.
Leroy Vega, Minnesota leads 4-1.
All right, keep riding. You want your riding time.
Luke Eustice will be down to begin the second period.
Okay, Luke Eustice chooses down. The Iowa wrestler got his choice. He chooses down, trying to get an escape to close the gap on the score. He's down 4-1 to Vega, the number 1 ranked wrestler.
Essentially a release there by Vega. Escape point, obviously, for Eustice. 4-2. Vega's really looking aggressive out here, which has paid off for him so far.
Well, he wants that championship, Ken. He's been third as a freshman, third as a sophomore, and last year he lost to Jody Stripnider from Iowa to finish as a runner-up. And now he's trying to get that elusive title.
Be ready on the edge.
4-2 the score. Still riding time advantage for Vega. He's totally in control of this match, but Eustice will not quit.
Come on. Go. Out of motion.
Eustice, as we talked, is having a good tournament because he beat A.J. Grant from Michigan, who he split with earlier this year. And then, of course, Flieger in the first round from Purdue. Vega came by beating Tony Black from Wisconsin, then number 8 seed Lang from Ohio State, and then Tuan Pham in a close 4-3 match, the Illinois 125 pound.
They're flying out there, Tim.
Nice crowd here at Assembly Hall. There's again Mark Schwab, assistant coach. And that's how Jay and a lot of the coaches do, the personal coaches, the ones that are in the room every day, day in and day out. I'm sure that's who they want on the sidelines.
Yeah, generally the person who's going to impact kids. And you work with a kid all the time. Now there's Marty Morgan, the other assistant coach up there at Minnesota. I think in many cases it's a strategical coaching kind of decision who should be in the corner. Schwab, I'm sure, is on the mats a lot with Vega.
Well, that's as much of the head coach's job as anything, not just being the one, but deciding who the one is that's going to lead certain wrestlers. Well, there, Vega's backing up a little bit. He's just backed off that aggressiveness that marked his first period and a half.
Yep. Yeah, he seemed to kind of go into neutral for a little bit.
4-2 the score.
Kind of a heel pick attempt by Vega, short on it. And that length, I think, helped Eustice a little bit. And, of course, Vega's short in stature.
12 seconds left in the second period. The only score in the second period, an escape early on by Eustice. And if it ends this way, which it looks like it will, the score will be Vega 4, Eustice 2. Vega will go down and have the opportunity to score more points from underneath.
He's having a little problem with his left eye. I don't know what it is, that being Vega. But he says he doesn't want timeout. Probably confident in his conditioning. Now we're going to decide whether Eustice is going to turn him or... Yeah, he's going to cut him loose, it looks like, immediately.
The Minnesota high school kid comes on top of the Indiana high school kid, but Vega from Indiana up at Minnesota and the Minnesota high school kid down at Iowa. You got that all figured out, and you still know that Minnesota has a big influence on the sport.
Absolutely. And we're going to see Eustice got to pick it up. He's going to be aggressive. Boy, he must have, what, 4 inches of height on him?
Yeah, you're right about the lankiness there. He's a lot taller, but Vega being able to get in twice for good, slick takedowns early in the match in the first period. But now, in the last 2 minutes, in the last 3 minutes, it's been kind of a stalemate. Lots of hand fighting.
Yep. Movement, good action by these smaller guys, and we expect that to happen with the little ones. Ooh, drop down, coming back up.
Minute 12, there's Jay Robinson. He heads the whole deal for Minnesota. We talked about him in the opening, and now he has established himself as the dean of coaches in the Big Ten, and 3 out of the last 4 championships have been his for the Gophers.
Well, he's an outstanding manager is what he is, and he really directs this whole program in a very, very effective way.
National champions last year without a finalist. That shows you the kind of depth, the kind of balance that the Minnesota Gophers have, but I'm sure Jay has it in his mind that it won't happen that way this year.
Absolutely. He's got 7 guys in the finals here. He's got all 10 of them qualified for the NCAAs in 2 weeks. He wants to win it and win it big.
Well, it was quite a feat last year, winning it at the University of Iowa, where Jay was the assistant coach to Dan Gable, and it had to be a sweet, sweet victory for him. Here we go. 48 seconds left, and Eustice in on the leg. What's he need to do here, Ken?
He's got to try and clear, and, you know, we get caught in this situation so much in college wrestling now, and knowing what to do from there is the key. He's done it. He's done it.
He's got the 2
yes.
points. And now the score is 5-4.
Now he turns in 30 seconds to go.
He's got a lot to make up because even
that's
if he
right.
takes him down,
Is it-
Vega still has
That's
riding
right.
time, so he needs 2 takedowns or a takedown to the back.
Yeah.
So it's an uphill climb for him, or Eustice.
Yeah, if he
Vega's
was-
in control. 6-4 is the score on the board, but you remember, Leroy Vega has riding time. That's worth an extra point, and that cannot be erased.
We know that Vega's got 7 points now. And now he's in and he can stand in that situation. Stay right there. Just make sure he doesn't get in trouble. Oh, second. Oh, he's right.
Even if it would have been a takedown, wouldn't have been much to
That's
be able to do. There's the end of the match with riding time. The final score, Leroy Vega 7, Luke Eustice 4. That's the Big Ten champion, Leroy Vega.
Champion Leroy Vega of Minnesota.
Now here's the takedown.
Eustice, see, he allows it, can make the turn, and of course, Vega's in trouble by being broken down so much. He had the leg for a little while, lost it, and that was the 2 points.
Big Ten final at
And this is just a little too late for Luke,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
He does a nice job.
He does a wonderful job there, making the turn. You see, he loses that leg. TD, touchdown, or takedown. I'm into football.
24-13.
Minnesota Gophers get their first Big Ten champion.
Ohio State.
The broadcast rights to this event have been granted to Fox Sports Net solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of Fox Sports Net and the Big Ten Conference is prohibited. Here we are at 133, and Ken, I think one of the most dominant outside of Cale Sanderson from Iowa State. Ryan Lewis is as dominant as they come. He's undefeated for the Minnesota Gophers at 133, and he's going up against number 7 seed from Ohio State, Ratliff.
Yep, Ratliff's had a great tournament. Being a lower seeded guy, get into the finals. Now, the question I have for you is, what's the home state of this young man?
Of Lewis. Well, he's a transfer from North Dakota State.
I believe he's from Utah.
And he's from Utah. There's the home state, and I just mentioned Cale Sanderson, didn't I? So you're right on top of it, Ken. Cale Sanderson, obviously, looking to be the first undefeated 4-time national champion from Iowa State. Quite a young man. And then, as Ken pointed out, he's from Utah, and so is Ryan Lewis.
Whoa. Boy, Ratliff made a nice move in there, but he's found himself in a little trouble, but scrambled out to stay neutral. Oh,
man.
Oh, they were out of bounds.
Yes, they called him out of bounds.
Yeah, okay.
You can't come back in after the referee blew the whistle. There's Ratliff on your left, Ohio State versus Ryan Lewis, a transfer from North Dakota State, stepping right in for graduating Brett Lawrence from last year, All-American at 133. Number 1 seed, undefeated, Ryan Lewis from Minnesota.
And duck under attempt by Lewis. And look at Ratliff counter. Oh!
Well, you make a good point, Ken, in that Ratliff's having the tournament of his life here.
Yep.
And so he believes now. Here he is in the finals.
He's doing things with confidence, committed to do them.
Ratliff started by upsetting the number 2 seeded Black from Wisconsin, and then went ahead and upset number 6 seeded Hay from Illinois to make the finals. Number 7 seed from Ohio State all the way to the finals versus the number 1 seed Ryan Lewis. Lewis coming through with 2 big falls.
Boy, Ratliff was in there nice and then didn't quite finish. If he can get that right, I think that's
Out of bounds.
No takedown.
That's referee Chuck Yagler, 2-time NCAA champion from Iowa. A long time ago. And then Tom Galen, his assistant official.
Apparently we have a timeout and maybe some blood. Of course, this gets back to our second place situation with Ohio State being in here. This would be a huge win for Ohio State. I mean, let's face it, Ratliff has done more than anybody expected. But Ohio State could jump up in there.
Well, Ohio State does need to win. If they win 2 matches, they'll be up there fighting for that 3rd place.
Yep. Boy, again, a great counter by Ratliff. I thought Lewis was going to take him down.
Lewis is very explosive. He's been on a roll and wrestling well, and Ratliff is, like we said, a surprise finalist.
Right.
In the dual meet earlier this year, Lewis majored him. Now the difference, Ken, there is Lewis looks very strong and physical, more compact. Ratliff has he's got some lankiness to him.
Right, and you get that slenderness to him.
Leverage.
Well, you fit your body build to the style of wrestling. Yeah, that's one of the great things about the sport. You can be a 6 foot, 125 pounder. You can be a 5 foot, 125 pounder.
And as we end the first period, the score is 0-0. The heavy favorite, Ryan Lewis, all knotted up by Ratliff, the surprise finalist. Lewis wins the flip and chooses to begin the second period in the bottom position.
To the scorer's table. First through 8th place, 125. Please report to the scorer's table.
Beginning of the second period, scores 0-0. Ratliff on top, Lewis on the bottom.
Now again, that length can help a top man if he can control the man well enough to use it. And it doesn't look like he's coming on that outside switch kind of thing.
Lewis,
oh,
there, whoa, and he exploded.
Wow.
Boy, you could see the determination on his face.
Did he hit that?
Wow, it was like, I got it, I'm not going to give it up. 2 points for Ratliff. He goes ahead 2-1. Big time move.
And the way he lifted, I mean, he took him right up. Too many people, now he's in trouble. Ratliff has got some trouble. We'll see whether he can snake out of this. No, all right, reversal.
Smart. He was smart there, giving that up, because he was about ready to get
hurt. He slapped the mat. I don't know what the problem is. Oh, he hurt his foot.
Now here's the takedown.
Look, now,
clears it.
Now watch this. Changes to the double and lift and take him down. Great job.
You were making the point, Ken, and I think what you mean is not enough wrestlers see the urgency of finishing immediately.
Correct. You see guys that, for some reason, and of course we all have been out there,
right?
It's easier to see from the sideline, but it's there to be had. And there's a piece of tape I was using in a wrestling room.
Exactly, the look of determination and the immediate finish. There it is.
See, he hits on the single first, then changes off, head to the outside there, and you've got a wonderful lift to make that 2-point takedown. And the lead at that point in time.
Where do you go for all the latest and greatest information on your favorite Big Ten team or athlete? Next time, log into www.big10.org. That's www.big10.org. Ratliff from Marion, Ohio is a sophomore, so we have an Ohio athlete staying home and wrestling for the Buckeyes. Lewis out of Utah by way of North Dakota State all the way to Minnesota. 3-2 the score. That's in favor of the Minnesota Gopher, Ryan Lewis, the top seed. But it's not been without a fight.
Good competition. And right now, of course, we're getting a stalling warning for the bottom man.
Stalling on Ratliff, not trying to improve and come to his base.
Get a fresh start.
36 seconds left in the second period. The score 3-2 in favor of Lewis from Minnesota over Ratliff from Ohio State. We're in the second match of this Big Ten championship at 133.
Just checking the scoreboard over there. I think the riding time clock is not, well, maybe it would hit zero. It hit zero at that point in time.
Ratliff had gotten some.
Yes. Boy, he's working pretty tough right now, going up there heavy on that head.
Well, Lewis is tough, and he's not undefeated for no reason. He's an undefeated wrestler, and first year in the lineup for the Gophers, and I think they're expecting big things from him.
Well, he's been impressive. Shoulder roll. He's trying to get a quick one out of there and not going to make it.
At the end of 2 periods at 133.
That's Ryan Lewis right there, by way of, if nobody else knows it, he has it on his back of his shoulders there. But Lewis from Vernal, Utah.
Ratliff will be in the down position to begin the 3rd period.
Ranked number 1 in the nation.
Yes, we have 4 wrestlers current, or 5, depending on the rankings you look at, from out of the Big Ten. And the only other conference that has in the multiples, it's 3 from the Big 12.
Well, and you were talking, Ken, earlier that 9 of the top 20 seeds in the nation are here in the Big Ten.
In the finals with
the
us,
finals.
the ones we're going to see.
Got it now. Riding time just went to Lewis. He is controlling this match right now. 1:25 left in the third period. He's up 3-2, but he's got riding time. And I think that Ratliff is going to be called for stalling again.
I don't understand why he's not building the base.
Because Lewis is coming out to the side a little bit.
Referee Yagla's doing some kind of verbalizing there. It almost looks like Ratliff is hurt, or maybe the gas tank is running out. There's the warning.
There's the stalling. Chuck Yagla, the referee, calls stalling. That's 1 point for Lewis. Makes the score 4-2 on the scoreboard. With the riding time, it's 5-2. He's looking for the cradle.
He's got that side saddle cradle. Now it's a matter, can Ratliff block it with he's working toward the edge of the mat.
And they get off the mat.
Got off.
Dodged a bullet there. 30 seconds left, and there's no doubt right there. Jay Robinson has to be happy. Jay and Mark Schwab, they have to be satisfied with Lewis coming back from that early scare of Ratliff.
Mm-hmm.
There's been no question in the last 2 minutes.
Obviously got a half a minute to go, but with the 2 first Gophers out there, ending up with the championship if this one continues this way.
Caution, a little quick start there by the Ohio State Buckeye Ratliff, and that's just a warning. He gets to start over, but he needs to start with the whistle.
That Lewis does some really nice things. He's got a leg in there that...
Well, the only thing that could happen to Lewis is to get caught on his back. That's what Ratliff is thinking about, but he's going to run out of time.
Yeah, he's just got him snagged up enough. He could get some back points here.
That's the end of the match. Another Gopher champion. That's 2 in a row at 133 pounds. That's Ryan Lewis in his first Big Ten championship. He's a Big Ten champion.
Big Ten title 5-2 over Jeff Ratliff. We can ask for your attention down to the south end of
It's the ultimate battle of the sexes. 6 of Chicago's top shooters take aim in the McDonald's High School 3-point shootout. During halftime of the Bulls-Sixers game on March 28th, the girls look to make it 2 straight wins over the boys. Catch all the action live on Fox Sports Net. The Bulls roll into Milwaukee. Jalen Rose ignites the Bulls' attack. Ray Allen leads the Bucks charge. Bulls Bucks tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net Plus.
Take text messaging to the next level. Start sending text messages and using AOL Instant Messenger. Download ringtones and graphics. Welcome to MLife from AT&T Wireless.
And we're back at Assembly Hall on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign, Illinois for the Big Ten Wrestling Championships and the third match of the evening, 141 pounds. Another Gopher Hawkeye matchup, Ken.
This will be a good one.
Chad Erikson, the senior from Minnesota, and a junior, Luke Moffitt from Iowa. This should be a real good one because the last time they met, Moffitt pinned Erikson.
Yes, and interestingly enough, this is a weight that was seated much differently than the way it came out. Erikson was seated 4th, Moffitt was seated 7th. Oh, I'm sorry, 6th, and here they are wrestling for the championship.
Here they go. Moffitt won a big match in the semifinals, and he should feel real good about his chances. Getting to meet Erikson, who he pinned last time in the dual meet. Erikson's been around for a long time, doing good things for the Gophers, but not quite winning the championships that he's out to win today and in a couple of weeks, I'm sure.
He's solid, been solid, as you say, but that top step of that award stand is the one you want to be on.
from Apple Valley, Minnesota. They have a fine wrestling program in Apple Valley, and there's been other Eriksons that have wrestled for Minnesota. Chad Erikson, the latest, and a senior here. The number 4 seed, going up against Luke Moffitt from the Iowa Hawkeyes, a junior out of Estherville, Iowa, by way of Iowa Central Community College in Estherville. And in the lineup for the first time this year. A lot of new Hawkeyes in the lineup this year after graduating about 6 seniors.
Yes, they had just an outstanding senior class. That they graduate, they go away. Then you got to get someone to replace, and he's got some good young people in this lineup.
Well, for Iowa, who's won about 26 Big Ten championships since 1974, it's usually a matter of reloading, not just rebuilding.
Rebuilding's not in the vocabulary.
You're looking at Luke Moffitt in the black and gold of Iowa, in on a single.
In there, nice.
Oh, and he's got the cradle locked up. He's got it locked up. Hear what we talked about? And he can tighten it up, let me tell you. He knows where he's at here, Ken.
Yeah, he looks like he knows, and he looked for it right away.
That head's going to slip out.
He slipped the head out. 3-point near fall to add to the takedown.
And that's how dangerous Luke Moffitt is, as is Chad Erikson. We may see some more fireworks here soon. 5-0 for the Hawkeye early on in the first 2 minutes of this match.
Well, now here with this second place race comes into play here. Boy, this was great action.
Single leg.
And he goes. And now on the way down, look at him. He sees that head. I'm going to the cradle, near side. And he lost. His shoulder went a little too far over.
From the single leg right to the mat, a 5-point move. Oh, and a reversal. And he's got it tight, just like I said.
Oh, my gosh. We're looking for action. We're seeing it.
So what we got was 2 points reversal, 2 points
near
back.
fall.
Yep, and 1 escape. Makes the score 6-4 in favor of the Hawkeye. Fireworks may seem like a tame phrase here pretty soon.
Well, some kind of a meter's going on, rumbling around with this action.
20 seconds. Don't give that space. Stay down. Stay down. Heavy hand.
As we approach the end of the first period, we've had everything you want in wrestling. We've had a takedown. We've had a takedown to the back for near falls. We've had a reversal, back points, and an escape. And the score is 6-4 as we end the first match in favor of the Hawkeye Moffitt.
141 pounds, Luke Moffitt of Iowa leads 6-4.
Ken, here you go on Erikson's reversal.
Here he goes. Of course, Moffitt's breaking him down, but then he spins all the way. Beautiful move, and then goes right to the overhook and catches Moffitt on his back for the 2-point near fall.
And then Moffitt gets out for an escape. Now, Moffitt chooses down to start the last period, the second period, and here we go. And Erikson gets the legs in.
He looks high, but I think he's okay now. Looked like he might slip him over, but those legs came in there nicely. Stays behind that. Now it's a matter. Yeah, I was wondering where you're going to try to come from behind. Stalemate call.
Tom Galen, the referee, calls a stalemate. They go back to the center. Moffitt goes down, leading 6-4. There's Chad Erikson. He was 8th as a freshman, did not place as a sophomore, got 2nd last year, looking for his first Big Ten title. He's been here 4 times.
He's had a good career, and again, that gold medal is the one these guys look to.
Moffitt posting, trying to get his escape.
Oh boy, look, he comes back, stepping over that thing. He's very comfortable there, apparently. Oh,
almost back points there, but did not get him.
Minnesota coaches, I think they want him.
So you think the coaches really do spend a little time in the referee's ears, coaxing him a little bit, Ken?
Now and again.
Hey, attack his elbow!
Marty Morgan, one of the assistant coaches, and Mark Schwab in the corner again.
Stalemate call.
There's Joe Williams, one of the greats, 3-time national champion for the University of Iowa. One of the best in the world, wrestling for USA team. Assistant coach for the Hawkeyes, and the head coach, Jim Zaleski.
Great young man. Oh, look at this.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's got any back points, no. Oh!
Got the Granby finish possibly.
Yes.
Nope. No, man. Oh, he's pinned him. Whoa. Too much rolling there for Erikson with a guy like this. Luke Moffitt.
This place is going crazy.
Here we go.
All right, here he gets up. He catches the Granby situation, then loses it. Now look at that, right to the head.
See, some wrestlers just have a sense for where the back is, and that's Luke Moffitt.
It's the way you strike. Look at him. He's not going anywhere but right to the head and taking that man right to his back.
Boy,
and
he
boom,
was planted. He was planted.
He was dead center on that mat.
Chad Erikson gets second for the second year in a row. And Luke Moffitt, in his first Big Ten championship, he's the champ.
For Illinois grade, Erikson.
Well, I'll tell you what, and the next match is one of our features. How much better can it get? We'll be back from Assembly Hall for 149 between number 1 and number 2 in the nation.
This week, AT&T Broadband delivers the hits you want on in-demand pay-per-view. The Princess Diaries. Kiss of the Dragon. Rush Hour 2. American Pie 2. All this week on in-demand pay-per-view, delivered home by AT&T Broadband.
Keep connected locally when you log on to attbroadbandnetwork.com. attbroadbandnetwork.com provides you with a comprehensive look at AT&T Broadband's original programming, including exclusive coverage of area high school sports. Now you can access our network programming schedule by simply typing in your zip code. attbroadbandnetwork.com also provides you with exclusive video highlights, community events listings, monthly contests, and much more. attbroadbandnetwork.com, your local connection.
Here we go at Assembly Hall for 149, number 1 ranked Zadick from University of Iowa versus number 2 ranked Jared Lawrence from the Golden Gopher, Minnesota. The last 2 meetings, Zadick has won, but that's not been the way it's been every time. They've wrestled several times. Maybe it's about 4-2 over their career in their 6 matches. But this year, Mike Zadick has been an animal. Let me tell you, he is undefeated, and he has been number 1 all year long.
And he's looked number 1 all year long.
Yes, he has.
They met in the finals of Midlands, and Zadick was in charge. And he makes the statement when he steps out there on the mat.
He always seems to find a way to win. And it's not like he doesn't go into overtime. He does, you know. But I'll tell you what, he finds a way to win.
Well, some people have more of an affinity for that than some others, and Mike has been around the game forever, since he was born, I'm sure. But you're right in that he really going to use every bit of strategy that he possibly can. Oh, now there he is.
Got the leg up.
And right back to the center, which a lot of guys don't do.
He's not going to take any chances that he goes out of bounds.
He wants all the space he may need. Oh, little forward roll.
And that might keep Jared Lawrence from Zadick getting that.
Yeah,
oh, he's coming out.
Boy, that was a great counter move, Tim.
A lot of scramble, and Jared Lawrence can scramble. There's Bill Zadick with his hands up in his mouth, the brother of Mike Zadick, a world-class wrestler who was a national champion for Iowa. And encouraging his brother, and of course, that's Jim Zaleski, the head coach, his choice to put Bill Zadick in the corner, along with Tom Brands, the assistant coach. All that and no score, Ken.
Well, boy, it was great action. I had a 1.5 on the board for Zadick. But Lawrence just made a great move.
Well, I have a feeling this is certainly a preview, very possibly, of 2 weeks from now, the national final championships there in Albany, New York at the Pepsi Arena, where the best will gather, and the Big Ten will be represented by a strong contingent, and these two could be meeting again in the finals. They will be ranked number 1, seated number 1 and number 2.
That's right. Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him. And that's that big mat in Albany. Down to 30 seconds here.
You know, the thing that I see about Lawrence, too, Zadick always wrestles a real hard pace. Well, so does Jared Lawrence.
Yes, yes. I mean, you know, oftentimes you get to the point who can outlast the other, who's got more in there to get to the final seconds.
There's a shot by Lawrence.
That was a nice shot.
Good whizzer there by Zadick. Comes out of it, hips out.
Nice job of counter.
And that's the end of the first period.
Scoreless at the end of the first period at 1:49.
There's our matchup right there. We're talking about Mike Zadick, the senior, undefeated, and going against Jared Lawrence. Both of them winning 90 or more matches in their career.
Caution on Zadick for the false start.
Hard on him, that's it. Hard. Good, hard. Hard on him, that's it.
Well, Lawrence is putting some heavy pressure on there. Zadick was pointing to what he felt was locked hands, possibly. Gets the escape.
Well, we've been to Utah with one of the wrestlers, and Lawrence from Idaho, Sandpoint, Idaho. He was the NCAA Freshman of the Year 2 years ago, a junior out of Idaho, in his third year in the lineup for the Minnesota Gophers. Zadick had to sit behind a national champion, Mark Schwab, for a year or two until he got in the lineup.
This is what we could call a mountain people with Zadick being Montana.
Montana, that's right. Montana and Idaho all the way here. And this is where we're at. We're at the University of Illinois in Champaign, Illinois at Assembly Hall. I'm Tim Johnson along with Ken Kraft bringing you the 2002 Big Ten Wrestling Championships.
Beautiful. I like that action.
And what he needs to do is bring him back to the center, too. There's nobody better than Zadick at this, too.
That's
so
right.
This is...
Some people say his toes were off. Kevin Tan, the referee, says there's still action going.
There's the 2 points. Big takedown.
Now watch him work here. He's got the leg high, tries the trip. Nice counter action.
Covers
and
the
there it
hips
is.
there.
Covers it up. Gets the 2.
So we're right back where we started the second period with Lawrence on top, Zadick underneath, but Lawrence ahead 2-1.
Oh, good motion by Zadick. He ran out of real estate. Boy, that's hard riding from the top by Lawrence.
Look at Lawrence building some riding time now.
Yeah, and we got 11 seconds in this period, so he doesn't want to give that one up.
Well, Ken, you make a great point there. This is where you don't let up that takedown, isn't it? And this is where Zadick needs to get out. And he does. Now that's what Iowa has been known for.
Yes.
Scoring at the end, scoring at in the edge, and at the end of period.
That's right.
That's big.
See, I've always told my kids if someone scores inside 10 seconds, you got a point and a half on escape.
We talked about the standings in Minnesota building the lead. OSU, Michigan, and Iowa still fighting it out for second place, but the chances running out for Ohio State, who lost at 133. They only have 3 matches to go. And okay, now Lawrence scores an escape, makes the score 3-2, but what a big escape there at the end for Zadick.
That was huge. Now we're in a takedown game right now. We got 140.
And the only takedown has been Jared Lawrence from Minnesota.
And when he hit that heavy head, the start of that takedown was when it really made it work. He really popped Zadick down and then went in for that takedown. Zadick likes to be there in that front headlock, head and arm. I just noticed the red socks on Zadick. I'm looking for color. I thought we got two reds out there. But he's got the green anklet on.
Zadick, a senior from Great Falls, Montana, going against the junior Lawrence, and it's a good one, 3-2, just like we expected. The #1 ranked Zadick versus #2 ranked Lawrence. We're not just talking in the Big Ten, we're talking nationwide. These are the two best 149-pounders in the nation, and they look it, Ken.
You know, someone said, well, you know, how does the Big Ten compare? I said, we have the great wrestlers in this conference, and there's other great wrestlers in other conferences, but we have the greatest number of the great wrestlers in this conference.
We've got athletes in the Big Ten who are ranked #10 in the nation who aren't even making it out of the Big Ten championships to go to the NCAA.
That's how competitive it is. Hey, we're inside 30 seconds, Tim.
The score 3-2. It's a lead for Lawrence, and he has not been warned for stalling, so he gets that coming. That's big.
Yep.
So he can actually be, right now, he just has to ward off the attack.
Yeah,
and Tom Brands needs to watch it.
Oh, they gave it to him.
They gave it two. They said there was two. The assistant, Joe Bartel came up and said that was two to Kevin Tan, who's the official. Now,
Coach Robinson is calling referee over. He wants clarification.
Here's the replay. Eight seconds left.
An escape ties it.
Well, you got the two biggest fans in the place, Minnesota and Iowa, and you got one happy, one not happy. Here it is.
Here it is. Now, the key here is where were the feet, where were the points?
His knees looked out.
Yep.
His knee looked out when he went down.
And the toe, yep.
So I think Kevin Tan had it right, and Bartels thought it was a takedown.
Now you see it here. Yep, that left knee hit. It did hit. Now, I suppose the question could be, before that knee hit, did he have control?
Well, Jay Robinson certainly doesn't agree, but this wrestling, let's go to break and come back for the 157-pound championship match.
He does it because he loves it.
Oh, come on, what are you talking about?
Things don't always go quite like he plans, but I am glad they have a coach like him. Sports gives these girls confidence that they can use their whole life.
Hands up, here we go. No, the other way, the other way. Go to third, go to third.
To him, it's not just about the game. He really wants to teach these girls how to dream big.
Sportsnet invites you to enter the Jewel Food Store's Championship Sweepstakes. You could win a glorious 5-day, 4-night trip to college basketball's national championships in Atlanta and $1,000 in spending money. Plus, the chance to win a cool $1 million by predicting the exact score of the national championship game. There are other great prizes. See the new Jewel Preferred Card booklet or in-store spotlight for details and rules. Pick up any of these great products at Jewel today, and you're automatically entered to win.
Welcome back. Due to the length of this meet, let's move ahead in the action. Career wins already as a junior. Bertin wins the flip and he chooses down. So he'll start the second period down. It scores 0-0 and he's open to get away and get that first lead.
Hard on him, that's it. Inside behind
Moving back, getting that wide base.
Keep bumping him. Keep bumping him. Keep bumping him. Come up, come up.
Bertin trying to get the hand control.
Becker does a nice job of covering, coming back.
Now, other side. Good. Keep changing back and forth. Heavy on his shoulder.
Boy, this is one thing that Minnesota does better than most. They control people.
Well, and you knock them down 2 or 3 times, it gets a little harder for that guy underneath to come back up, and that's what Becker has done now. He's brought Bertin down back to his base 3 times.
Yep. And then When fatigue sets in, reaction slows.
There's Joe McFarland, the head coach from the University of Michigan. He was a top wrestler for his alma mater, Michigan, two-time national runner-up. He was a world-class wrestler, winning the silver medal in the Worlds, and then started his coaching career as a head coach at Indiana, then came up to Michigan, was the assistant coach for several years, and now he is the head coach for the Wolverines.
Does an excellent job. A good young coach. Maybe not so young as I think he is, but he's done a great job at Michigan.
There's the escape, and he did it in such a way that he kept Becker from getting the minute of riding time, 54 seconds of riding time. So Bertin fights his way to his feet for the 1-point escape, going up 1-0 in the second period.
They look a little labored right there. I think it's a matter of wanting to make sure they get this thing set and then the hit.
There's another nice shot. Head to the outside. What's he need to do here to finish it, Ken?
I like arm across, but I think he's got to come back to the dump. See, he's allowing him inside. Oh boy, that was nice motion, or nice move by Becker.
Good job by Becker of keeping that space close. He didn't give Bertin a chance to cut across, like you said. He stayed close.
Well, that was a nice move, though, by Bertin in. First move.
Again, as a freshman, you really like the aggressiveness. He's not backing off at all against this two-time All-American, and that's the way Bertin's been all year long.
If I remember correctly, his losses were all the top-rated people.
4, 3, 2, 1, time.
Okay, that's the end of the second.
Now you're looking at Ryan Bertin, Michigan's finalist, freshman, ranked number 5 in the nation. And if it wasn't for somebody like Steve Mocco, who's number 1, there'd be a great candidate for Freshman of the Year. And in many years, he'd be the Big Ten's Freshman of the Year.
That's right.
But it won't be this year.
That's right. Unless something else happens.
And we're talking about Steve Mocco, the heavyweight who's ranked number 1, a true freshman, and we'll see him later in this show. Becker comes around and looking for a reversal, and he gets it. Yes. Big score there. Doesn't just get the escape to tie the match up, but gets a reversal. That was huge. Now Bertin back to where he was at the beginning of the second period, but he's down by 1.
And he's got 45 seconds riding time against him.
He has to get out and get out now.
Bertin likes that widespread base to start with from under.
And you were talking, Ken, earlier about Minnesota's tough ride on top, and here is where he is, and he's going to get riding time, and so he goes ahead effectively by 2 points. It's 2-1 on the scoreboard, but if it ended well, and right now, Bertin's going to have to get the takedown before there's 8 seconds left in the match and ride him out.
There he goes again. He attacks that left leg so well.
Good hip action by Becker.
And wonderful counter step behind that leg.
All Bertin can do now is hang on. Oh, he does not. He gets Becker stepped over the leg and got the 2 points, and now it's 4-2 in favor of Becker. But like we said, he's got riding time, and he's in control now, Ken.
Yes, he is. Going to take a lot for Bertin to get back in this, although if he can get a quick escape, which he hadn't been able to do, then he could be back in it.
This is Becker's 3rd time in the finals of the Big Ten. He's a junior, but he's been runner-up twice. We've talked about this earlier today, and some Minnesota wrestlers are getting their opportunity for their first Big Ten championship as individuals. They've been such a great team, but now they're trying to take care of themselves, I think.
Well, I do remember, if my memory serves me correctly, a guy by the name of TJ, he met 2 years in a row.
TJ Williams, Joe Williams' brother, who is a couple-time national champion for University of Iowa.
And the greatest individual record of anybody in Iowa's history. Okay,
escape by Bertin makes the score 4-3. He needs to take down Becker, something he has not done, to tie this match. They go out of bounds. He's got 10 seconds. He's got 1 shot.
Yep.
And if he does take him down, it will be tied because riding time is Becker's.
And I would suspect he might go to Becker's left leg. What do you think?
Yeah, he's been there, but he's got to finish it.
Oh, he didn't that time. He crossed me up.
Becker's going to be able to hold him off. Bertin's not going to be able to get past that first line of defense right there. And that's a championship for Becker, his first after 3 trips to the finals. The junior from Minnesota, Luke Becker, the Big Ten champion at 157 pounds. And here's the reversal. It was big.
Got that leg up there high.
That put Becker in front for good right there.
That's right.
He was behind 1-0. Here's your champion, Becker from Minnesota at 157 pounds. Well, 165 coming up, and we've got one of the top wrestlers in the nation, and Matt Lackey versus Clark from Ohio State. We'll be right back.
The Bulls roll into Milwaukee. Jalen Rose ignites the Bulls' attack. Ray Allen leads the Bucks charge. Bulls Bucks tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net Plus.
Do you think that bankruptcy means you lose your house? Wrong. It's exactly the opposite. Do you think you can't buy a house or car after getting out of debt? Wrong. You might think that getting a fresh start means no credit card. Wrong again. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Let my law firm show you how to get a real fresh start. Listen to my Chapter 7 and 13 info tapes right now.
1-800-401-4010.
Want a fast, fun way to get to all the Bulls and Hawks home games? Then come out to Mother Hubbard's and hop aboard the Fox Sports Net free shuttle. Enjoy great wings and burgers, then get to and from the game for free. So catch the bus at Mother Hubbard's, located at the corner of State and Hubbard in Chicago.
And we're back at Assembly Hall at the University of Illinois, the Big Ten Wrestling Championships, and here's your matchup at 165. Matt Lackey, a junior, All-American, going up against Johnny Clark, a sophomore from Ohio State, and here we go. Number 1 seeded, Matt Lackey. In on a single leg real fast, and Johnny Clark slips it out. Lackey from the Quad Cities, Moline, Illinois state champion, going against Johnny Clark from New York, and his brother, Mitch Clark, is a former NCAA champion and assistant coach with Ohio State.
Look at that Clark. He's showing some of his brother's stuff there.
Yeah, he's long.
He's long and he's unorthodox.
And he's got 2.
The takedown. Goes to that 2-on-1 bar on the ride.
He's got some length, he's got a little height on Lackey, and he gets the first 2. There's Mark Johnson, the head coach, and Jim Heffernan, the assistant at University of Illinois, and that's a program that's emerged in the last 10 years under their direction.
Done a wonderful job down there, these 2 guys.
Talk about the influence of Iowa. Mark Johnson at Illinois was an assistant under Gable. Jay Robinson was an assistant. Tim Zaseski at Northwestern was a wrestler there. So was Dwayne Goldman, Barry Davis. And so the Iowa influence has certainly permeated through the Big Ten.
No doubt about it, and you can see it throughout. I'm watching Clark carefully because he may use a couple of unorthodox things here that put Lackey in a bad position. I mean, Lackey made a great move in there to start the match and ends up getting taken down. Here he comes.
Taking offense, Lackey.
That's Matt Lackey, top-seeded wrestler for the Illini, going against Johnny Clark, the 2nd seed at this weight at 165.
Of course, I see brother Mike Clark over in the coaching chairs, along with head coach Russ Erikson.
So it's 2-1 after the takedown. Like you said, Lackey was in on a nice single, but Clark did a great job of coming around and getting that too.
Lackey just made another shot at it, and Clark was out of there quickly.
Red's doing nothing.
Less than a minute left in the first period. It's 2-1 in favor of Clark over Lackey at 165 pounds.
There we got Russ and Mitch Clark.
That's right, Russ Erikson, longtime coach at Ohio State. Before that at Wisconsin. As I mentioned about you, Ken, in the opening, another one of wrestling's great ambassadors, Russ Erikson.
Well, We got to go back a long ways with Russell, and of course he wrestled in the NCAAs in 1970 at Northwestern University. But the real thing that he did was to wrestle and get the silver medal in Montreal Olympics, and just wrestled a great match and lost a tough one to one of the great ones, Erikson from Russia.
Russ Erikson, one of the great names in wrestling, wrestler and coach. The other young man that was sitting by Russ is the brother of this finalist from Ohio State, MICH Clark. Little blood time, it looks like, a little cut. So there will not be any injury time charged against
Johnny Clark.
Johnny Clark. There he comes back to the center. Here we go.
11 seconds in this period. Oh boy! Whoa. Like that action. Lackey hit, and then boy, he almost got taken down again on the counter.
At the end of the first period. Here's that move, Ken.
You've been mentioning he took his hips away from Clark really well to disallow any takedown there.
Okay, Lackey chooses down in the second period. He's down on the scoreboard, 2-1. Looking to clear the hands. And he gets out, and he's out 1 point. Oh, there must be the blood on Johnny Clark again because it's on the shoulder of Matt Lackey. Or no, just a cut on Matt. Oh, here they come again.
Well, they're ready to go.
2-2 is the score. Second period.
Boy, I'm seeing nice penetration by Lackey, but Clark is doing a heck of a job of countering.
Clark from Canton, New York. There's a nice single, but Clark does a nice job of just slipping.
A loose leg kind of action. Here we are again. Now, this is where
Lackey
we
has to
were.
come up, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And look at that knee pressure on Clark. But they've got such suppleness in that family. Brother Mitch as well as Johnny Clark. Now, Lackey saying, what am I doing looking up here? But I'm waiting for it.
Nice job on Lackey.
He's got the shot. Not yet, not yet.
Man.
Mike Allen, referee, was close, and he says, no, he does not have control.
Nice turn the corner of Lackey again. This is great reactions by both. There's Lackey on the double, cuts across. There's 2 points. Well, I think he made sure at the end there, but he cut across there and had the 2. His head was to the outside.
Right.
Mike Allen, referee from Waterloo, a top NCAA referee. There's Mark Johnson, Jim Heffernan. Speaking of Big Ten champions, we're talking about guys not winning until their senior year.
Yeah.
Jim Heffernan, one of the few 4-time Big Ten champions. I think there's only 10.
Very few, very few.
And he won it for the University of Iowa. 4 Big Ten championships for Jim Heffernan, the assistant coach of the University of Illinois.
Go get Johnny, go get!
Escape for Clark.
Clark was looking, he said, hey, he's locking on me.
Well, a lot of
looking
action.
for a call. Good action.
4-3 in favor of Illinois' Matt Lackey. You're looking at Russ Erikson and MICH Clark. Has to be hard to be a brother, seeing your brother out there. I mean, you'd rather wrestle probably than have your brother out there.
Well, I coached 2 of them, of my own brothers, and
well, would you rather wrestle for them or would you rather coach them?
Well, it depends who the opponent was. Okay.
I don't know what they're doing, but they're getting ready to go. 4-3 in favor of Lackey. 18 seconds left in the second period. Ohio State's Clark will be down to start the third period. He'll have the opportunity to knot it all up.
And
there's a chance right here. If he can score, this is what we're talking about. 2-1, he does not. Clark does a nice job of stuffing the head. Look at this knee. Look at that knee. Whoa, man.
And I want to say, in the Clark family, there's suppleness in the joints.
I don't want to...
Here he comes.
Takedown. It's not here that he gives it. Nope. It's when he finally cuts across. But now we're back into the third period, and the escape by Ohio State's Clark makes the score 4-4. We're all knotted up. There's no riding time. It's a 4-4 tie match, and a takedown's going to be the difference.
And we've seen Lackey in on the offense more than Clark. but the score is 4-4. So does the edge go to Matt Lackey right now?
Well, it depends on what Matt Lackey does right here.
Yeah.
You hear Mark Johnson in the corner saying, continue to wrestle, Matt, continue to wrestle. And this is what his strength is. And so it's a matter of whether he stays on the attack or not. And you got to be a little gun shy when the counter is so well done by Clark. I mean,
and he's been in there so often. That's right. Now,
we're down to the final, closing in on the final minute of the last period of this match at 165.
It's a lot riding on this last minute for these two guys.
Lackey, a junior, looking for his first Big Ten championship.
Oh, nice move by Lackey, but a counter.
Nice counter,
again.
great hips. He's got to cut the corner. He can't go straight on.
Boy, it goes almost silent here. Everybody's waiting for the pin to drop.
We've had one pin drop in the real sense of the word. We had one pin. Very excited. There's two pins. Nice takedown. And he did a nice job of dropping down low, coming across.
And good penetration. Caught it.
Jim Heffernan just talking to Matt Lackey. Jim Heffernan calls Matt Lackey the best wrestler to wrestle for the Illinois since they've been here.
Yep, I saw
that's
that
pretty
too.
high.
That surely is.
When they've had 6 national champions in the last 7 years at the University of Illinois. I'm sure the home crowd would like a one here and been good hosts here. The attendance has been good, probably close to 10,000 in the 3 sessions.
He's coming, looking at that switch circumstance outside. Got 8 seconds.
And no stalling calls on either wrestler, nor should there be. Been good action. It's a 6-5, 1-point lead for Lackey, and all he has to do is stay away.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And Lackey wins it, and the Illinois crowd's happy. They get a champion in the home arena at Assembly Hall. There's Matt Lackey. There's your crowd. The number 1 seed wins over the number 2 seed. Gallant effort by both of them.
Yes.
There's your champ.
Two gentlemen out there.
Yes, they are, and they. And we were talking about this earlier, Ken. It's been a gentleman all the way for all the wrestlers. Here's the replay.
There we go. See how deep he gets? He hits in there so deep. Penetration gets him low at the ankles and drives through the knees and keeps both legs for the takedown.
And Illinois crowns their first Big Ten champion of the season. There's Mark Johnson and Matt Lackey. We'll be right back for the 174-pound matchup between number 1 ranked Olson from Michigan and Nixt from Iowa.
In February, the CBS2 problem solvers told you which restaurants are still failing inspections.
Our investigation found that some restaurants are still slipping through the cracks.
What to look for when dining out.
The approach to cleanliness is lacking here in the dining.
How restaurants in Illinois counties rate.
We decided to take our food thermometer to do some inspections of our own.
About a controversial technology for keeping food safe. And so much more about food safety when dining in or out, from groceries to fast food. The problem solvers, only on CBS2.
Some people spend their whole life on the outside looking in. We understand. Television. Web. Life. RSN. This way out.
Join host Jim Rome as he interviews the biggest names in sports and asks what the people want to know. That's The Last Word with Jim Rome, weeknights at 7:30 on Fox Sports Net. Here we are at 174 pounds, the Big Ten Wrestling Championships. Number 1 ranked Otto Olson going against Tyler Nixt, the sophomore from the Iowa Hawkeyes. Olson, a senior, undefeated in his 6th year. He got a 6th year granted to him because of an injury that carried over into 2 years, and they petitioned and got it. It's not something that's done a lot, but Michigan's glad it happened.
Well, when we say a 6th year, at Northwestern we say Evan Eschmeyer, a basketball player who plays in the NBA now, but he had 6 years.
Here we go, 174 pounds, and it's Otto Olson, a heavy favorite here, Ken, I believe, over Tyler Nixt, who he's beaten 3 times. Last 2 times, 13-6, 12-2. But Nixt, he's flexible. He's young. He's in the first year of his first year in the lineup, and a big takedown. No, they don't give it to him.
No,
he didn't have it.
Didn't quite get it, but he made a beautiful move in there. Let's expect that he's going to end up getting it, but we're close to the edge. Oh, and he pulled out. He pulled out. No takedown, 0-0.
Olson's from Everett, Washington, all the way out. And Joe McFarland saw him at the National Juniors up in Fargo, his senior year, and he came back and told Coach Barr at the time, he says, we've got to get this kid. And they went after him, brought him in from Everett, Washington, and he's found a home at Michigan.
Well, he's been dominating this year in most matches. Ranked, as you say, #1 in the country.
The sophomore, Tyler Nixt, from Greene, Iowa, ranked #7 in the nation. And then here at the championships,
seeded second.
Seeded second. Kind of got a break when Volkman from Minnesota was upset in the quarterfinals, and came into the Volkman seeded #3, got upset, and so Nixt comes in to the finals by way of beating the #7 and #6 seeds. Olson had a close match, 2-1 in the semifinals against Lang from
Wisconsin. Or no,
Purdue.
Purdue. Yeah, Lang has had a good year this year. Nicks in, hits that leg on a single.
It's a matter of whether he has the power.
Yep.
As a young sophomore going against a 6th-year senior, and Olson does. He has a lot of flexibility as well, but he's got a lot of power.
Yeah, he's going to make him earn it. You know, he's just not going to. You got to make about 3 moves in a row to get that score.
You got to have a pretty powerful offense to beat Olson.
Yep.
I think Olson does depend on wearing out his opponent a lot of times, because that's the way it happens.
Now steps in nice.
He made sure of that one, didn't he, Ken?
Yeah, he gets penetration, kind of almost sneaky penetration. It's awfully good, but you don't realize he's in that far.
Well, I think Otto Olson on that one realized that Nixt is flexible. He's not going to go down easy, and so he tightened that baby up, and he got the 2 points to go ahead 2-0, but then Nixt gets the escape. It's 2-1. We're in the first period, 43 seconds left. 174 pounds. I'm Tim Johnson, along with Ken Kraft, bringing you the Big Ten Wrestling Championships from Assembly Hall, University of Illinois campus in Champaign, Illinois.
Ooh, Nixt faked almost a headlock. Maybe that was setting something else up. Now he's in on the single, but again, he's got to move from that position. And he's being blocked well by Olson. Run out of match space.
Sometimes there's nothing like being in the lineup, coming to the Big Ten Championships to convince a young wrestler that, hey, I belong, but I've got a little ways to go before I can get to the top, and that might have to do with workouts in the weight room a little heavier than I thought. These guys are a little bigger than I thought. You know?
A little stronger.
A little stronger. There's the standings. Minnesota, of course, winning their 2nd straight and 3rd out of 4 years Big Ten Championship. Iowa looks pretty safe at 2nd place, and Michigan has a chance right here to put away 3rd.
Yes. And I don't believe that Michigan can catch Iowa.
Escape. Point. Olson.
Escape in the 2nd period here. Olson makes a score 3-1.
Again, a nice first shot. A nice first shot by Nick.
Nick's very flexible. You can see by that knee getting bent back. A great advantage in wrestling to be flexible. If you can combine flexibility with power, you've got the formula for victory. Otto Olson looking to take him down, and Nixt gets his leg out.
You know, that's 2 times that's happened, and with a veteran, you expect he's going to score, he being Olson.
And what that does, Ken, it seems like if Nixt can hang around and keep it close, that's to his advantage there.
Oh, sure. If he can do that. I'm just surprised that he didn't consolidate one of those singles.
The coach in the corner for Michigan is Kirk Trost, who's been around for a long time assistant in Michigan, former wrestler for the Wolverines, and in the corner.
Yeah, he and Kevin Vogel is the other coach for Michigan in the corner right now, who wrestled at Central Michigan. Now he's mixed in again. I think he's got a lot of work to get done to score from there. I think Otto's got him. Oh, look at
Back to the center. There's 27 seconds left in the second period. The score's still 3-1 in favor of Otto Olson over Tyler Nixt from Iowa.
Go back to it! Go back to
Oh. Olson had to cut the corner on him, but he didn't quite catch enough of it.
Coming down to the end of the second period. That's it. And still 3-1. Now we go. 2 minutes left in the match. Nixt goes down. He's down 3-1. There's Jim Zaleski on the left. Joe Williams on the right. Zaleski in his 4th year at the helm, winning 3 national championships in his first 3. Not a bad start after taking over for the legendary Dan Gable.
And the runner-up that 4th year.
Zaleski, when you think about it, he won 3 state high school championships. He won 3 NCAA wrestling championships as a wrestler, and now he's won 3 as a coach. Not many can say that, Ken.
There are very, very few of those. And
there's Dan Gable right there. We talked about the legend himself.
Unbelievable.
Olympic champion, great wrestler, world champion.
The greatest coach ever.
There you go. You hear it from Ken Kraft, who's been around long enough to know it, right?
I've seen all kinds of them, and he's the greatest.
Nixt in he's out for an escape earlier in this period, makes the score 3-2, and he's a takedown away from upsetting Otto Olson. It's a close match, and he's kept it close, like we said, Ken, it would be to his advantage to do.
Yeah, going into this match, I thought that we might see quite a margin by Olson.
But like it's been the last 2 matches.
That's right.
Olson beating Nixt 13-6 in their last outing, 12-2 in the outing before. Nixt right now on the verge of being able to really pull a big upset, but Olson not having any part of it right now.
Pretty much Nixt has hit that right leg of Olson, but just one shot and not the follow. He's been the
Stalling
aggressor.
on Olson.
Stalling on
with
Olson.
36, so there's really enough. He's going to have to commit himself. Because one more stalling call would tie it up and they'd go to the overtime.
Yeah, and I went double that time. Switched off to single. Now Olson on the counter. Oh, I don't like that knee situation. I see too much of it.
Referee Jim Ramirez probably going to call a stalemate.
Saying neutral at this point. Inside 10 seconds.
He's not going to call it because Olson's coming up with it. Did a nice job. No points.
Oh, 3-2.
Olson's win, 3-2. Big Ten champion Otto Olson over Tyler Nixt at 174. And Michigan has a champion. There's your champion, Otto Olson from Michigan, and we'll come back for the championships at 184 pounds between Hrovat from Michigan and Hahn from Minnesota.
Is the ball part of you? Does the grass carry you? Is the one there to catch you? Do you dream big?
Being part of a team makes a big difference for these girls. The thing is, when the going gets tough, the tough go. When I look in their eyes, I can see how much they look up to me. It's a lonely job. Every one of these girls has a dream. It's my job to help them dream big.
We're back at Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois on the campus of the University of Illinois for the Big Ten Wrestling Championships. There's your top team rankings right there. Look at that. Minnesota, Michigan, Iowa, Oklahoma State, Ohio State. In other polls, in other rankings, that Ohio State's right up there above Oklahoma State. So the Big Ten, there's Illinois right in there too. Here's your matchup at 184. Andy Hrovat, senior, All-American, two-time, against Damion Hahn, a sophomore. And I would say that Minnesota is saying that Damion Hahn is now where they thought he would be at this time. He, you know, in the finals of the Big Ten. He was very celebrated to recruit for them.
Coming out of high school, he could have been that year the #1 recruit, and Minnesota got him. But maybe that were maybe high aspirations by some, but he's now starting to fulfill what people thought he could do.
Here we go with Hrovat and Hahn, and the last time they wrestled, Hrovat won lost 9-3. So Hahn beat Hrovat last time 9-3, and the time before it was switched around.
Yes.
So these guys have split. We got the rubber match right here between two great competitors.
And Hrovat is #1 ranked in the country at this weight class. And Hahn is up in there somewhere, 4th, 5th, somewhere in that area.
Hahn out of Lakewood, New Jersey. As Ken said, a very, very highly sought recruit, recruited by all the top programs. He was an All-American last year in 2001 as a freshman.
Oh, nice move in there. Nice penetration by Hrovat. Countered, though, by Hahn.
Hrovat, one of those St. Ed's kids you were talking about. St. Ed's High School out of the Cleveland area in Ohio. Whoa!
Oh my gosh!
He got the two. He's got the two because he's got the legs locked.
Yep.
And there's 2 points for Hahn. He started that kind of a fireman's carry and ended down on the legs.
He's set. He sees overarm here. There is the carry. Then he releases and kind of goes to the double almost. Yeah, he's up here on the hip and got the bottom leg.
2 points for Hahn right off the bat. Hrovat looking to get an escape, and he'd
like to get a reversal. Yeah. We've got to bring him down in order to get it. No,
he gets one.
Escape point, Andy Hrovat.
2-1 in favor of Hahn from Minnesota over the favored Hrovat, but only on the seedings because the last time out, I doubt if he's a favorite in Hahn's mind because Hahn beat him 9-3 last time. I might have that. Yeah, I have that turned around. The last time out, Hrovat beat Hahn.
Yes.
The time before, Hahn beat Hrovat.
Right, that was the Big Ten duel, and that's the key qualifier for the seeding. Well, Hrovat made. Whoa. Well, he knew where he was, but that was a throw.
Hahn had a great win over Vega from Indiana in the semis, and he's looked real good this weekend. One of the keys was scoring early, and he did that. There's Jay Robinson on the left, Mark Schwab on the right. Part of the Minnesota Brain Trust for the Big Ten champion Minnesota Gophers.
Down to 15 seconds, and it appears we're going to be 2-1 at the end of this period, but someone might get it late.
I think that both of these wrestlers can put people in their back pretty fast.
Yeah, right. Okay.
2-1 in the end of the first period.
Damion Hahn leads Andy Hrovat 2-1. We could have the top
Here's Joe McFarland.
at 174 pounds.
Hrovat, Michigan, going down. Begin the second period. Here comes Damion Hahn on top.
Hrovat is down to begin the second period.
Bill Rotes, the referee.
Switch action, then back. Wasn't sure what that call was going to be, Tim. Whether he was supposed to make some action to take Hrovat back down to the mat.
Well, Joe McFarland, the head coach from Michigan, calling for stalling right there. Now we got a caution on Hahn for coming on before the whistle.
Yep.
Referee Bill Rhodes telling him to relax a little bit, come on with his instructions. Here we go, started. Minute 40 left in the second period. Hahn has 46 seconds riding time, but he isn't able to get it. 48 seconds riding time and escape for Hrovat. Knots the score at 2-2.
Put him in the motion, Hahn. Speed. Circle.
Minute 15 left in the second period. The score. Oh, nice shot there. He got down on the ankle. Now, can he come up and finish it? He's cut off to the left. Can he get his head out? Hook the leg.
He stepped it over. He's stepping over, but Hrovat's got to keep those hips close to his chest.
This would be a big takedown.
Yes. Hrovat just looks too passive
he gets
in there.
It. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, Hahn took it to him.
Yeah, he sure did, but I thought he'd keep the hip lock, and he just released. And
two big takedowns for Hahn, and he knew where he was. He was high, he didn't want to give up the reversal.
Right, so he just gave the one.
And see, Hahn will be down to start the third period, so he's in good position here with two takedowns, ahead 4-3, and close to riding time.
Yeah, right at 59 seconds.
Oh, nice shot.
But he didn't score with it.
Wow, great scramble there. It was a nice shot, but Hahn did a nice job of defense.
You know, that shot, I see where Bertin's, they're both from St. Ed's. They got that high crotch to the near side and great penetration. Just couldn't consolidate and score. Yeah, I'm sure that we're going to find Hahn choosing down third period. Oh!
No points, and that was close. Damion Hahn almost gets his third takedown of the match. He's very aggressive. There you're looking at Damion Hahn, sophomore, ranked number 5 in the nation. He's looking good, Ken.
Yep.
He's going down. He's ahead 4-3. He's poised to get an escape and be up by 2.
Coach Robinson in the coaching chair didn't like that call especially either.
Well, you want it all. We get greedy as coaches, don't we?
Yeah, you're sure.
You want it all.
You can see it. As a coach, you can see what this score. Okay, he lets him up. Basically now 5-3 and 49 seconds. He took 10 seconds off the riding time. And of course, you must have at least 60 seconds more than your opponent at the end of the match to get a point for riding time.
So the score is as we see it on the scoreboard. It's 5-3. Nice.
Oh my God.
But Hahn, good hip action right there. I thought Hrovat was in again on tight.
He used the old form of the hip heist right out there, took those feet right back.
McFarland, the head coach of Michigan, battling Robinson, the head coach of Minnesota, as two young men from their schools are battling on the mat. That's Hrovat. Oh, nice throwback. Oh, and it's 2 points. 2 points. Rhodes gets it. Hahn trying to upset the #1 ranked wrestler in the nation, and it's looking like he's on his way to doing it. It's 7-3.
I'll tell you what he's shown me in this match, Hahn, is that he's making a full effort all the way. I mean, he's making penetration shots. He's not doing 3/4. He's not doing 90%.
Well, he's certainly not wrestling scared. I mean, after being beat by Hrovat, and he's not wrestling scared at all.
And now underneath, Hrovat looks a little tired.
He's given it about 3 or 4 good shots, and Hahn has warded off those shots.
And made some good ones of his own. Stalemate.
36 seconds from victory for Damion Hahn. He's up by 4 points, and he's got riding time, so he's got probably a 5-point lead. Hrovat's going to have to do more than a reversal, that's for sure. 1 point escape. 7-4.
A lot of work to do. You got to take him to his back.
Hahn, see what you're talking about. Hahn's right back in.
And see the shot. It's all the way shot.
Minnesota fans excited. Another champion about to be crowned for the Gophers.
Oh!
And that's what we're talking about. I mean, what Hrovat needed was not only a dig down, but something big to the back. And one mistake, and with somebody like Hrovat, he could put you on your back.
He had
but it's
double
not going to happen now. And there's your champion's going to be Hahn over Hrovat. Good competitors right there. Good competitors. 7-4 with riding time. The score is 8-4. Hahn, as a sophomore, gets his Big Ten championship. Good champion, good action. Minnesota fans. Well, that's 184. Another Minnesota champion. And 197. We got number 1 in the nation versus number 2 in the nation. Preston versus Elzen.
Talking to people about Chi-Chi's new guarantee, where you'll be totally salsified or your meal is free. What does it mean to you to be totally salsified?
Total satisfaction.
Best guarantee you can get. The total salsification guarantee.
Yeah, I like that.
I would go, definitely. New flaming fajitas. Watch this. Take a bite. What does that say?
This is awesome. The service was good. The food is fabulous.
I'm totally salsified.
Totally salsified. So come on out to Chi-Chi's, where your total salsification is now guaranteed, or your meal is free. Yes! Yes! Got one!
The Chicago Wolves continue their inaugural season in the American Hockey League. Be there for all the action and excitement. This Thursday, it's the Wolves and the Philadelphia Phantoms at 7 p.m. The Wolves will debut commemorative St. Patrick's Day jerseys sponsored by Julasco, which will be auctioned to benefit Easter seals. The Chicago Wolves and the American Hockey League. Check out our A-game. Call 1-800-THE-WOLVES.
We're back at Assembly Hall, University of Illinois campus, and we're about ready for 197 pounds of the Big Ten Wrestling Championships. We've got number 1 versus number 2 in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Not in the nation. Cale Sanderson is number 1 in the nation, and he's the best ever from Iowa State. And Nick Preston and Owen Elzen will battle it here for a Big Ten championship, and one of them will probably meet Cale Sanderson in the finals of the national championship. Preston, a senior from Ohio State, versus Elzen, a senior from Minnesota. Number 1 versus number 2 in the Big Ten.
And their previous matches this year found Elson winning the first 2, but the last one was won by Nick
Preston,
yeah.
And Preston seated number 1 here because he won the Big Ten duel.
The Big Ten duel, right.
And look at Elzen. Look at this. Whoa.
Oh my God.
He's serious. He's got the takedown and he's got 3-point back.
Has he got that locked?
Yes, he does have it locked.
He's a little high for the good cradle. He got the shoulder point a little too far, but he's got a lot of good things happening for him now.
Well, like time, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to settle in.
I thought he might hook that other leg.
Preston's got the leg there. He's keeping his shoulder up, and so Minnesota wrestler Elzen's going to have to settle back and try to get more chest to chest. He's not going to be able to, so he lets it up.
But there's a 5-0 lead.
3-point near fall, Owen Elzen.
Boy, that's a tough way to start a match for the guy that was thrown on his back.
Escape, point, Preston.
A little blood on Elzen.
Preston, a senior from Columbus, Ohio, right there on the campus of the University, or Ohio State University, so he didn't go far.
Take a look at this. See, as he goes down, he looks at that cradle immediately, Tim, and he's locked, but he's got his, as you say, the shoulders up way too high to get the stick.
Elzen says, or at least it appears that he says, Ken, that, hey, I remember this last match. I won those first 2, and that last one was not what I want to be remembering. And so Elzen, like you said, a winner twice against Preston earlier in the year, but a loser in their dual meet, which was the criteria for Preston receiving the number 1 seed and Elzen the number 2.
Well, Preston's had to fight off his back for almost 3/4 of a minute. That takes some gas.
Mitch Clark, Russ Erikson in the corner of Ohio State. Owen Elzen, an All-American last year.
at 197. He's from Minnesota. Minnesota, great influence. Minnesota wrestlers, their wrestling is doing real well. In fact, I read where the Division I, Division II, and Division III national champions, out of the 30 wrestlers on their squads, 23 were from Minnesota. Wartburg, North Dakota, and Augsburg. And out of their 30 wrestlers, 23 were from the state of Minnesota.
Yep. Well, they've had a great program for a lot of years. Oh, look at this. Double underhook. Preston, but he's not getting anything working from it. Trying to change to that front head.
Well, just by the look, you're not going to see Preston backing up here. He's kind of had the opportunity, Ken, to regroup a little bit here, but he is down by 4. It's 5-1 after that 5-point move. A takedown, cradle to the back for Elzen. Big start.
Big start, and it was early, which gives Preston some time, but he's got to score.
Wait, Nick, you need one here.
Great matches today, Ken. A lot of action. We've had everything. And the last match, 184, upset win for Hahn over the #1 seeded Hrovat from Michigan. Minnesota showing its dominance as a program.
That's right. And they're looking to step in that winner's circle in 2 weeks with a lot of those individuals.
Like Coach Robinson said, you don't join the good old boys club until you win your second national championship, and that's what he's looking to do this year.
Absolutely.
End of the first period, Owen Elzen leads Nick Preston 5-1. If we could have the top 8 place winners at 184 pounds.
Elzen chooses down to begin the second period. He's ahead 5-1 right now. Here comes Preston on top.
Coaches, please turn in your votes for the championship awards to the head table immediately following the heavyweight bout.
Lets him go. He's not going to try to ride him. It's 6-1 in favor of Elzen from Minnesota. Elzen's path to the finals came by way of victories 9-1 and 6-1, so he really hasn't been tested. Nor has Preston, 9-4 and 12-4 victories. So the best two are facing off right here, and that's how they came into the tournament.
Right, and you know, it was a big throw and one that Elzen earned, but it put the thing out of circumstance for Preston. He's got to just go, and it's a tough deal because he's just not attacking another guy. Nice move in.
This would be big, wouldn't it?
Boy.
And he gets it.
Yes.
He gets it. Now he's back in the match now.
Yep, he sure is. Coming off that successful takedown, and a great move.
Here he's in on the single.
Here he is, nice, quick move. Almost got the first one, but then got him on the heel, and then he went down.
Got up on the head, knocked him down, like you said, covered the legs, 2 points, and now it's 6-3.
You're probably going to turn him, I suppose.
Right. He turns him loose. It's 7-3 now, but he knows he can get in on that leg, and he knows he can take Elzen down.
Escape point, Elzen.
Still a long road back, Ken.
Yep, 3 minutes, a little less than 3 minutes left in the match. But he's going to have to hit some other good stuff, because he's just not attacking an average wrestler. This Elzen really has impressed me.
197 pounds of the Big Ten Wrestling Championships at Assembly Hall. I'm Tim Johnson along with Ken Kraft, bringing you the 2002 Big Ten Wrestling Championships.
There again is Mitch Clark on the left, Coach Russ Erikson on the right.
Back him out.
Ohio State trying to get their first Big Ten champion. Spread it around a little bit.
Oh, again, a nice move by Preston, but he's probably going to run out of line. Yep. Well, Preston is close enough to... there he goes again. There's two. Right at the end of the period again.
That's big. That's huge. And if he rides him out, which he does, that's huge. That's a true competitor right there. He has stayed right in. I thought I saw it in his eyes right afterwards. He said, I'm not giving up. There's Owen Elzen going back on top. Here's a replay.
Here he's in, and you know the key to that, very honestly, there he goes again. And it's the end of the period, and I think Elzen lost a little focus. You know, he think I'm just going to rest out this last 10 seconds.
Good point, Ken. And Preston takes advantage of that. Now he's down. He can bring this within a 1 point and a takedown, and he's the one that's established the last 2 takedowns.
And trying to set his base. There he goes. Boy, he put himself right back in this big time with good moves. However, he's still down a point.
Elzen trying to become the 5th Minnesota Big Ten champion today. Minnesota with 4, Iowa with 2, Illinois with 1, and Michigan with 1. We're on our 9th match of 10, and it's been an exciting day, the finals of the Big Ten championships. And we've got a great one right here after 5-0 lead by Elzen with a takedown to the back.
Oh, warning.
Warning on Elzen. And he's been that way since after that 5-point move.
That's right. That's right. Okay, now we've got over a minute left to go. There's a warning stalling on Elzen.
And all the Ohio State wrestler Preston needs to do now is really get after it. He's going to get the call.
Now look at that, see?
Yep. He backed off when he shouldn't have, Preston.
That's right.
Boy,
he sure did.
That was a big 2 points for Elzen. Little mental mistake there by Preston. He had Elzen on the ropes.
Yep. He had to keep the pressure on him. He took it off.
He did, exactly right. Elzen back in the driver's seat, ahead 9-6. 53 seconds left in the match.
Come on, he's got it on the elbow right there. Not even close. Pick it up, pick it up.
He's out.
9-7. Takedown still ties the match.
Preston is, he's got to get on the offense if he wants to get in this match.
He's going to have to take him down and ride him to go into overtime.
Right.
25 seconds left in the match. Elzen leading 97. There's the single.
There's the pick. Oh!
He doesn't have it. He's trying to pull it back on. That's his only chance here. He's got to keep. Oh, there's the foot off. The foot off the rim.
Seconds.
Stalling, there's one.
And there's the one, and he's not going to score. Oh my gosh, what a finish.
Whoa. Great finish. Great match. Great comeback. Elzen goes ahead 5-0, hangs on for a Big Ten championship. Minnesota's 5th. Here's the last attempt.
Here he is. Preston just wants to get it as much as he can. Out. Goes to the edge. Here. It goes to the edge, and they say nothing yet. And then
not yet. We got to see if his toe. It's not yet.
Does his knee go off?
And they're not calling it on knee. They're calling it when his toe right there, and you can see it. You can see it. The coach says no, but you could see his toe on the white line. Good call.
Close, but a tough one to lose, of course.
Heavyweights coming up next. Steve Mocco versus Rowlands from Ohio State.
There are 2 teams going out on the field today, and only one will come back a winner. We're at the 17th hole. Here's the putt. Go out there and do your best. Yes! And this is Cinderella story.
Sports can teach her how to dream.
I love you guys.
You can help her dream big.
Face it, extra cash and a CD player are good things. That's why Cavalier now comes with 0% APR financing or over $2,500 cash back. And it's equipped with a CD player standard. Hey, with 0% APR, a night out never sounded so good. Cavalier, see your local Chevy dealer. We'll be there.
We're back at Assembly Hall at University of Illinois, and here's the matchups a lot of people have been waiting for. Steve the Bear Mocco, they call him, the true freshman for Iowa, up against the sophomore Tommy Rowlands, All-American from Ohio State, and trying to get Ohio State's first Big Ten championship,
right.
And he has a good shot. He's been beaten twice by this freshman this year.
Well, Steve Mocco, when he won the Midlands as a true freshman, there's very few of the guys that have ever done that. Dan Gable was one of them. And, well, Cale Sanderson was a redshirt freshman when he won his first one.
Well, you know, Ken, because that's your tournament, and that's one of the great open tournaments of the of wrestling, the Midlands Championships. How many? 30? How many years?
39. The next one is the 40th.
The
in
next
December.
one, we're going to have a big celebration.
You bet. Absolutely.
40 years of Midlands, and my broadcast partner is the man that started it all.
Well, it was fun those 40 years ago, and it's been a great 39 years.
Yeah, we don't want to push to 40 if you don't have to, huh? Mocco versus Rowlands.
By the way, he was seeded 6th in the Midlands and won it. And so it wasn't just a, he had a road to hoe to get through it all. And I'll tell you that I'm impressed with his conditioning, his stamina. He may not look like the exactly finely tuned
Well, he's
body.
very tough. I mean, he just keeps a tough pace on you. I'd say what I've seen so far, he's limited in what he does offensively, but he's aggressive in kind of a different way.
Yep, just right there you saw it. He's got that foot sweep that we all have seen a little bit of, but and then Rowlands is, I think, just a great heavyweight. He's a great athlete.
I think you just said it there, Kenny. He's a great athlete. He's got good skills.
Yep.
The kind of heavyweight you like.
Here we are, two of the best heavyweights in the country. One's a freshman, one's a redshirt sophomore.
And the national champion didn't make it to the finals. He got hurt in a victory in the quarterfinals. John Lockhart from Illinois, he won, but his kneecap went out of place. And so Mark Johnson, not wanting to, when it comes down to it, the Big Tens are the NCAA qualifiers.
Right.
And he wanted to not have Lockhart wrestle, but Lockhart's been beat by both these guys this year.
Well, actually, of course, Lockhart was a great champion a year ago, but he was seeded 5th in the Big Ten.
That's right.
And wrestled well before he hurt his knee. Then
and did not win the Big Ten championship last year, but went ahead to win the NCAA wrestling championships.
Well, it's a topsy-turvy at times. Rowlands has made a couple of slaps at that left leg of Rocco. I heard someone say that's headbutting. It wasn't you or I don't believe.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of fighting in there. Mocco will hand fight you to death. He'll try to force you to make an error or a bad shot. But, you know, Rowlands, although he's only a sophomore, he's been around this game now for a long time, and I don't expect him to make a mistake.
Right. Okay.
What Rowlands knows is that Mocco's going to try to wear him out in this first period when he's on top. Mocco's not bad for a heavyweight on the top position.
He gives people pressure. He puts some weight on them.
Mocco out of the famous Blair Academy prep school, where he was a national prep champ.
Lots of great wrestlers have been through that program.
New Jersey native, and Rowlands right from Columbus, Ohio also. Nick Preston from Columbus, Ohio, DeSales High School, and then Tommy Rowlands from Columbus, Ohio, Bishop Reedy. So Russ didn't have to go far.
No.
That helps your recruiting budget, doesn't it?
Well, Ohio has a great program. They're so deep in that high school
One of the best,
program.
you bet. Steve Mocco, freshman, ranked #1, and we're not talking redshirt. We're talking this guy was in high school last year. Rowlands on top, and an escape by Mocco. There, we're back to the feet.
I'll tell you what I like what Rocco just did there. As soon as Rowlands lifted him, they hit the mat, and what did Rocco do? Right back up.
It's an attitude, I'll tell you, and he has it. It's a good one.
I like this. Oh, there was that
foot sweep that probably won him Midland, got him to the finals in the Midlands with a couple, but Rowlands, those guys, it's not like they don't know this stuff now.
That's right. They know he's got it.
What Rowlands is doing is trying to not get caught up in the hand fighting that wears him out so much, because Mocco is just the best at it.
Yep. He's inside, moving, constant. Hand and arm action.
Mocco, it's his match right now, because Rowlands would have liked to have scored early, I think, and not had to fight him so much, but right now it's down to hand fighting, and we're looking, unless something changes, we're probably looking right going to that overtime and that flip, you know.
Well, traditionally heavyweights have found themselves in that situation, being tied at the end of 3 periods and then to the overtime.
Mocco looking to try to win it as a freshman and then try to become only the 11th Big Ten, 4-time Big Ten champion. I mean, that's the kind of thinking he has.
Yes.
Of course, lots can happen, and but that's the kind of young man he is. He's got that on his mind.
Well, he sets goals, you know, and then you set goals, then you work to achieve them.
He's going to be the freshman of the year, as we talked, in the Big Ten and nationally, ranked #1.
He's, you know, he just continues to press and move and hack away.
10 seconds left in the second period. The score is 1-0 in favor of Mocco, who got an escape in the second period. Rowlands will be down to begin the third period here in 2-1, and that's the end.
Okay. Rowlands says, I'm going down.
We go to the third period.
And he looks a little tired, I must say. He's breathing heavy. Good-looking athlete, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's a slick wrestler. He's got good shots, but he wasn't able to get him on Mocco.
Oh, nice stand-up. But he didn't cover the hand.
And we talked, Mocco likes to wrestle on top. Whoa! Now, they're on the edge, and they're going to go back to... Mocco could have been in trouble if it had been in the middle there.
Yeah, we were looking at a reversal, possibly. Well, here we go. Hand fighting. This is the thing that a lot of people don't understand how hard that is. Right there, continuing to work.
That's a good point, Ken. I mean, it is tough when you have somebody that, like Mocco, who just is so good at it, it wears you out. Not saying that Rowlands isn't. Rowlands is more of a complete wrestler.
Right.
But he just can't get past the first line of defense for Mocco.
Yep.
Don't lean too much.
It's 1-1, 1:15 left in the regulation time. Well, there's a nice shot.
A little high crotch, the off leg. Well, the crowd's getting into it a little now. We got 1 minute and 7 seconds. Oh my gosh! Now he didn't penetrate as good as he should have.
Nope.
But he was close.
Two shots, one by Iowa, one by Ohio State. Showing you how hard both wrestlers are to score on.
Yes.
41 seconds. We're in the heavyweight match, the 10th of 10 today. Great matches here at the Big Ten Championships. University of Illinois campus, Assembly Hall.
I'm a little surprised Rowlands doesn't circle a bit more as he's being forced by Mocco. Now he's stepping in.
Got to find the angle. It can't go straight on. He tried. He just good defense by Mocco.
Good reaction by Mocco. Yeah. Well, it's
now, if Mocco hadn't hit that high crotch attempt himself, I'd be thinking that Rowlands have had a little more offense as far as shots, but he saved himself by giving that shot.
Yep. Here we go. We're in the overtime. There was very little intermission on that one.
We're in sudden victory right here, tied at 1.
Nobody waited for the announcer that time. We've ended regulation. It scores 1-1. We're in sudden victory. That means the first scorer here wins. And if there's no score, one will go up and one will go down. We'll talk to you if that happens. But right here, if either one gets a takedown. Whoa, and he's on the side, and this stalling call.
Stalling on Mocco.
Yep, warning on Mocco. Shot by Rowlands right there. 32 seconds left.
You know, if he pushes Mocco here 2 or 3 times, he might get the call.
Here's a big one. Look at that. Beautiful hit in there. Mocco's countering, trying to square off as best he can. Then he hits the hip with the whizzer.
Boy, that was great. Great whizzer. Now, if Rowlands could get a shot right off the whistle there, that would help him. But he can't go straight on. He's got to be smart. Whoa.
Oh, now
he's doing what I'm talking about right there.
Look at that head movement. I mean, taking head control.
Mocco leaning on the shoulder right there.
Yep. 15. Oh! Boy, Mocco came right back out front again. I thought he might continue on.
That's another shot. And we'll go to the second overtime. They flip.
There it is, the coin flip. And who got it?
Red
gets it.
Now, we talked about Mocco being good on top.
Yeah.
We'll see. This is a shot. There's Jim Zaleski, the head wrestling coach, yelling encouragement. Here goes Rowlands down. I don't think he's going to be denied.
No, I would be surprised. It may depend on if he gets caught in a snag of some sort. Oh, nice movement. But he locked it up so quickly.
And there is a stalling call already on Mocco. So there is a warning on Mocco.
But see, he's missing the cover with his left hand coming in to cover that Mocco's hand coming. We call that the loose arm, rubber arm. I call it rubber arm first. There, see, up he goes.
Oh, locked hands.
He just locked it. That's it.
That's it. Locked hands.
Yep, that's it.
He knows it. He knows it.
Yep.
You cannot lock your hands when you're down. And he won't become a 4-time Big Ten champion, Tommy Rowlands.
But he may become a 4-time NCAA
That's
champion.
right. That's a good point.
A reminder, all coaches, please turn your ballots in. We need those immediately in the scores table. Please turn your ballots.
There's your champ. And Ohio State gets their first one, and here it is.
Now watch it come up. He locks the hands. He goes down right there.
That's right. That's a penalty, and that's the win right there. And your champion for Ohio State, Tommy Rowlands. We'll be right back for the Big Ten Championships.
This isn't your...
Got a dream? Make it happen. Enter the Winning Beginnings Dream It Do It sweepstakes from We Women's Entertainment by Active and Motrin. You could win $25,000 to get you started. Enter at any Dominick's supermarket or log on to www.we.tv for details. Get inspired. Watch We Women's Entertainment Sunday nights in March, Women's History Month. Don't just dream it, do it.
VHIX.com lets you comparison shop for cars online. You can compare 2 cars, feature for feature, then compare the better car to 2 other cars. Compare the car you want to the car your kids want. Compare safety features, compare prices, compare technical specs. When it comes to comparing cars, nothing beats VHIX.com. So VHIX is the best way to find the one car for you. VHIX.com, roadmap to the automotive world.
We're back at the University of Illinois Assemblies Hall, where the championships for the wrestling of the Big Ten has just completed, and Minnesota has won it all. And Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State, and Illinois round out the top 5. Minnesota, 5 champions, Ken.
Yes, and that's quite an accomplishment because they haven't had that many individual champions through the years. And there's Jay, and Russ Erikson just been named Coaches of the Year, which is a great honor for both of them. They're great friends, as you can obviously see.
Minnesota, 5 champions. Iowa had 2 champions. Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio State each had 1 champion. But there are the team champions, the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, 2002 Big Ten champions, 3 out of the last 4 years.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to say this. I've been around a lot of Big Ten wrestling tournaments. These 10 matches were as good as any set of 10 matches I've seen in my long history. I'm not going to talk how long that is. but it was a great set of 10 championship bouts.
Well, I'm here to tell you, I know that it is a long history, and it's been a great history, but you're right, because usually we say, well, the semifinals was where the action is, and the finals might be a little boring, but there was anything less than, it was great action, wasn't it,
Wonderful,
Ken?
Wonderful.
Well, so for Ken Kraft, this is Tim Johnson saying so long from the 2002 Big Ten Wrestling Championships in Champaign. The preceding has been a presentation of Fox Sports Net.